Expressive reading by Andronicus Enoch from Raising Stars Institute. And you know what? Life isn't always easy for all of us. But God has given all of us something with which we can bless Him. And this is such a blessing to have Andronicus come and to share his expressive reading with us. So welcome Andronicus again, will you?
The sensitive plant. My mother and her 5 children came back to live with grandfather. The children were very glad to leave the city and go into the country, where the large green fields were and shady trees to play under. Grandfather had a beautiful garden. He had taken great pains to fill it with fine fruit and flowers. It stretched to the brink of a small creek. There was a summer house covered with woodbine. It was very cool and pleasant in the summer house. Grandfather gave Robert and myself a little spot for our garden. We were very much pleased to have a little garden of our own. Every morning and evening we worked in it. One day, a gentleman came to see us from afar. When he went away, he patted me on the head and said, "I will send you some seeds of the scented plant, my child, to plant in your dear little spot." Those seeds came, and Mary kept them very carefully for the next spring, when we took more pains than usual in making our gardens on account of our beautiful new plant. No sooner was the plant than we longed to see it up. Every morning we ran to look for it. "I hope you don't mean to cheat us," cried Robert. After waiting long in vain, Mama said she did not think it meant any such thing. Perhaps it was me waiting for more sunshine. After many days, something began to turn up the earth. "It's come! It's come! The plant has come through." I cried in joy, racing to Mama's chamber. "It's going here at last! Come and see, Mama!" Never was a flower plant watched with deeper interest. As the weather became warmer, small branches came out of the parent stem and grew rapidly. One day, as Robert and I worked in our garden, by chance he brushed his hand rudely against it. Lo, the little leaves folded themselves suddenly together and shrunk down towards the earth. It looked abashed and frightened. "See the scented plant?" I cried. "Robert, you have killed it!" "It can't be," said Robert. We looked at it in wonder. "Let's go and tell Mama and ask what it means." Robert ran for her. Meanwhile, I hung over the plant with the greatest curiosity. It began to stir up itself again. "It's not dead. It's only terribly frightened," I cried as Robert and Mother came down the walk. Then she told us it was for this reason called the sensitive plant, because it shrunk so timidly for the touch, modestly hanging down its little leaves and branches. As we stood and looked, the little thing raised itself up and opened its leaves. Mama touched it again with her finger and shrank away from us instantly. "This is queer enough," cried Robert. "I'm glad the gentleman sent it." Robert was for showing it to everybody. Indeed, he was never tired of trying its wonderful properties, and whether it did really feel or not was the question we talked over a dozen times a week. One day, I came home from school very ill-humored. I ran through the long entry into the garden, catching a view of Mama at our garden. I ran across the peat bed towards her. She was handling our scented plant. "Oh," I cried, "you were always hurting my scented plant. You shan't!" She looked up into my face. "The cow has been in the garden," she said, and then rose and walked away. I bent down. Behold, the print of a cow's hoof darkly on the spot where it grew. One side of it was torn and broken, but the dirt had been carefully brushed off, and the stalk sat erect. And Mama, in her thoughtful love, had gone to its help. How had I spoken to her? How had I repaid her care? Her look was sad and surprised, and my rebuke pierced my heart. I would have given anything to recall those angry words. I wanted to run and throw my arms around her neck and ask for forgiveness. Standing on tiptoe, with the tears flooding in my eyes, I looked anxiously around the garden to find her. She was gone. No good opportunity came the afternoon of seeking her forgiveness. And if it had, perhaps I felt too much ashamed of my wicked conduct to speak of it. That night, I lay down upon my pillow with a great weight upon my heart. Mama, dear Mama, I did not mean to. I sobbed aloud when the lamp was taken away, and it was dark. Alas, she did not hear. During the week, I tried all I could to be dutiful, obedient child, in the hope of making up for my angry words. But they had been spoken and could not be unspoken. I remember them. If she did not, the sense of time never looked at me as it had been done. 20 years passed away for this summer, and I was then away in the distant part of the land. A letter was brought to me in one evening, saying that my mother was very ill. I went to my chamber with an aching heart. The thought that I might never see my mother again filled me with grief. In the night I woke thinking of it. Mother, dear mother, I cried. Would that I were near you. Then came vividly to my that angry, unkind words I had spoken 20 years before. It added to my sorrow. I thought of all her tender love, all the happy and beautiful hours which we had passed together. I tried to comfort myself with thinking how happy I had made her, how much I had added to her enjoyment. But alas, it could not make up to my own heart for the angry, harsh words spoken 20 years before. I could not forget them. I could not blot them out. They came and doubly my grief. I had spoken, remembered them before. But now, they seem sharper than a two-edged sword, harsh. I cried language to my mother, my dearest and my best friend, she who loved me so dearly, who bore so patiently with my faults, who with such a kindness they had led me in the right path, who nursed me in sickness and cared for me as no one else could. I could never repay her. Even now, whenever I sit down and call to mind what a dear, good mother she has been, I weep for the sin of those wicked words. I wish I could forget them. Oh, I wish they had never been said. To this day, I cannot look at the sensitive plant, but with sadness, sin casts long, dark shadows on our pleasures. Should any children read this story, I hope they will learn a sad solemn lesson from it. If it will not lay up in our heart stories for a future time, which will never heal. Be kind, obedient, respectful to your mother, to your father. At best, you can never repay their love. Strive to do what you can. Make them happy. Watch your lips, lest any word escape that will wound their feelings. If once said, it can never be unsaid. Always bear in mind the command given by God Himself. Honor thy father and thy mother. And thank you for listening.
Absolutely fantastic, Andronicus. Well done, my friend.